Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today I have got the back of Johnny all filled up with some gorgeous annuals because we are going to go ahead and complete the garden on the back side of the garden shed. You were with me just, oh gosh, 2 times within like the last 2 weeks where we did some butterfly bushes and we did some new irises that we are trying out from our friends at Walter's Gardens. I told you we were going to come back and put annuals in to just fill in the bed and make it look spectacular for the upcoming wedding. And then of course the signature experience. That is what we are going to do today. We're going to start, I'm just going to kind of show you the plants that we're going to use, and then we'll switch and I'm going to show you where they're going to go and how we're going to use them. If you're familiar with a garden shed, you know that it used to be our chicken coop. And so I now use the run part that was the chicken run for my storage of my containers and those kinds of things. It has chicken wire on the side. It's not really attractive. Last year we planted this up and we used the upside black coffee sweet potato vine. We're going to switch it up this year and we're going to use the green. So this is the Proven Accents Sweet Caroline Upside Key Lime. And you can see that it is this gorgeous chartreuse green color. You can see that it is starting to trail. When they first introduced these upsides, I thought there is no way that a sweet potato vine can climb and adhere to things. They proved me wrong. These can absolutely do this. I've got 4 plants. That's being a little generous, but last year I only used I think 3, but because of the wedding and the pressure that I'm putting on myself to make sure this is nice and pretty and full for the end of May, I'm going to use 4. So they are going to completely climb those 2 panels of the chicken wire to hide it, and it's going to give me a gorgeous chartreuse green wall. Now in front of that wall, we're going to add all sorts of fun things. My main kind of accent, one of them, in front of the upside key lime is one of my favorite grasses, but you really got to find a right spot for it. So this is the Graceful Grasses Vertigo. Now, Vertigo is the largest purple fountain grass out there. And you might be looking at it and going, Jenny, that is completely green, that is not purple. Well, it's been in the greenhouse, so it hasn't gotten all the UV rays on it. As soon as it does, it will turn basically black. This thing gets ginormous. Can you see how the roots were already starting to grow into the gravel? Very, very vigorous. This will get like 4 feet at a minimum, all the way up to 96 inches. And it does. We have had them before. They are stunning. So I have 3 of them that we're going to put not only we're going to fill up the whole wall, both the chicken run part and the building. The building, of course, is white, so a black big grass will be stunning. 3 of those. The spacing on those is anywhere from 2 to 3 feet, so they are very upright and very columnar. They do not put on the plumes that we would normally think of the grass. It is simply big, huge, dark, near black foliage that is gorgeous. So we got 3 of those. Then, also in the back, we are going to use another fantastic plant. This is the Sun-Credible Yellow Sunflower. This, of course, is the re-blooming sunflower from Proven Winners that has that classic sweet yellow flower on it. These 2 will get nice and big. So in the landscape here, because we have such a long growing season, could get anywhere close to 4 feet tall and wide. I pulled 5 of them. I don't know that I'm going to use 5 of them, but I went ahead and grabbed them. I'd rather have 1 plant too many than 1 plant short. But this is a re-blooming sunflower. Obviously, sunflower, it needs the sun. In fact, all of these plants just drink the sun because this is a very, very bright spot. So forgive us if we have some issues with filming because it is early in the morning and we're already in the full sun. This will just continue to bloom. If you go in and deadhead your blooms, it is going to create a tighter, happier plant that produces more flowers. It does bloom on new growth. I mean, I've already got 1, 2, three, four, five buds right here. So when this flower gets done, especially when it's a younger plant, just come in and snip it off. Just come through once a week and go through and snip off the dead ones. It just, like I said, creates a tighter, denser plant, and it encourages new growth, new flowers. So the sunflowers are going to be gorgeous up next to the sweet potato vine, the black, graceful grasses, the vertigo, and up against the white wall. So we've got those. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we were in here and we went ahead and planted on the other side the Vista Snowdrift. I'm trying to find one here that I can pull out for you. So this is the Supertunia Vista Snowdrift, and this is going to be, the Vista series, of course, is like one of the absolute, if not, well, it is the most vigorous petunia out there. Now you may notice that I am sitting here deadheading, pulling off the old blooms. The great thing about Supertunias is that you do not have to deadhead. Now if you like to deadhead and you like to pick, then that's wonderful. It does not stop the flower from blooming if you do not deadhead. Vista Snowdrift, of course, is that just pure white flower. It is going to get about 2 feet tall and 3 feet wide. Because we had some left over by the in front of the spireas, I wanted to bring these back in somewhere else in the garden to tie the whole garden together. So we're going to have, up on the chicken wire, we're going to have the upside key lime. Then we're going to have 1 or 2 of the vertigo grasses, and then these guys are going to be in front of it. So beautiful color contrast, loads of white right there. We got 2 more to go, y'all. 2 more plants, because we're going to go ahead and continue around, because we've got some space in front around the butterfly bushes, between the hollies, all of those things that we're going to come in here with just massive color. I'm going to try to pull one out for you that you can see here. So 2 plants that we're going to go for. For my height, we're going to do the Rockin' Salvia. This is the deep purple. So you can see, right, has those gorgeous deep purple flowers. Hummingbirds love this plant, right? So this is going to give me some height. In the landscape, it is going to get at least like 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide, 3 feet tall. We're going to fill in 2 different pockets with the Rockin' Purple, and then for the border of the whole bed, we're going to use the Mini Vista Hot Pink. Now you notice that these mini vistas are getting a little wild and woolly. We desperately need to get these plants out of the greenhouse just because they are ready to go. Put it in the landscape. If you get a salvia that's very kind of tree-like, you can go ahead and pinch it back if you want to. All of your annuals, you can prune them back, give them a little haircut. It creates a tighter plant, a more compact plant, and it encourages new growth. Now with these, I'm just probably going to put them in and let them go, unless I just have like one salvia that's an absolute tree trunk. Then I'll just come in. The best place to prune it is right here above where those 2 leaves are. Just prune it right here, and then both of these leaves become stems. So that is the plant list. Now let me show you exactly where they're going to go so you can kind of get a visual idea of where all these are going to go. Jerry and I went ahead and laid out all the annuals. That way it will make much more sense when I am explaining how we kind of designed this garden and this space. All right, give you perspective. Obviously, garden shed, that is the 2 panels that I was talking about with the chicken wire on there. And so, right now, less than attractive. Of course, you can see as a lot of my ironwork containers and planters and trellises are in there. So of course we want to hide that, and not that everything's going to stay in there. We're still pulling things out and adding them to the garden. But nonetheless, we do want to, disguise this less than attractive portion of the garden shed. It's on the to-do list to get fixed, y'all. Just, the to-do list is quite long. Now, you can see we're going to start here in the back. The upside key limes, right? So I would basically put 2 on per panel right there. Y'all, these things will go crazy. They will take off. They will completely cover this. 4 is probably a little aggressive. And I will also say, because some people, I think the vast majority of people understand why we are planting like this. We have, like I said, the wedding reception. To give you an idea, I'm just going to turn and pivot a little bit. Wedding reception right here, high visibility area. Then 1 month later, we had the signature experience, and the catered private dinner is right here as well. Very, very high visibility. I want this to be a wow factor kind of space. That is why we are planting it heavy. I am going Disney worthy this year, right? We're talking about Disney gardeners, nice, big, full, tons of plants. I'm turning into a Disney gardener this year. So the 4 upsides will completely take over this wall. We'll go all the way up and we'll take care of that. Now, the 3 vertigo grasses. So they are here. We've got the first one amongst the snowdrifts, and then as we come down closer to Brenna, I've got 2 of them up here, up against this nice big wall right here, a plain, boring, blank wall. Can y'all tell that there's a critter living under there? And Brenna is absolutely obsessed. She is sniffing. She's trying to get this little critter. I don't know what it is, but she's trying. I digress. We don't need her digging though. No digging, Missy. Suncredibles. I went ahead and used all 5. Again, I know that I am putting them in there tight, and that is okay. I need them massive, especially these 3 right here will look like one giant plant. And then as we come up to Brenna, you'll see that I have 2 that are like in a straight line. I do access this portion, so I come off the garden shed right here, off the pad right where Brenna is, and I'm trying to create a little path from her to where I am behind the butterfly bushes where I just walked and go out. We'll see how everything kind of holds up. I may lose my path, but that is the idea, as opposed to, you know, I can't cut then through the salvias right here. So the idea is that I will have a little path in this area that I can come and access the dahlia garden and this garden. So the Suncredibles, the Vertigos, as we come down, went ahead, I think there were like 14 of the snowdrifts. Again, now, I didn't plant them as crazy close as I did on the other portion of the yard, but they're still really in here nice and tight. And I wanted them to come in here on the back to fill in. I don't want to see soil or mulch at all. I want this to be completely full. So you'll have the pure white petunia and then the vertigo grass popping up out from it. That is the idea on that. Then, as we pivot back around, let's come this way because I think it'll be a little bit easier maybe to see the whole picture from here. The Mini Vista Hot Pinks. Jerry did a double row, window paned them, and they go all the way up to the last of the holly tree right there. So this will be a nice hot pink carpet right here. Of course, I've got the 5 eyeliner irises right here. They will be white with a purple edging, I think with like a yellow throat, so the colors just work out absolutely perfect. And then of course we have the butterfly bushes that are going to be like a hot pink. So we're getting all those, like a pinky red, all those colors are going to coordinate together quite nicely. And then came in with a nice ribbon of the Rockin' Deep Purple Salvia. So we start here kind of going behind, and then it wraps on around behind the Star Magnolia right there. People were asking about the Star Magnolia. This is only she just completed her first year in the garden. She has leafed out quite beautifully. Not a lot of flowers this year. That's okay. It takes 3 years for them to get established, but right now she's doing great, completely leafed out and very happy. So what we're going to do is we have all of our typical gardening supplies that we use here at Creekside Nursery. I've got in the back of Johnny, I have, of course, have my kneeling pad. I don't know that I'll be kneeling any. I have the Power Planter auger with the drill. I have got Biotone, and I have got the Proven Winners continuous release fertilizer. And my main asset today, my biggest help in the garden, I have Jerry. So he has come to help me get this all installed. He pulled back the mulch a little bit in certain areas, but we're not going to worry too terribly much with trying to save this mulch, like make it pristine, because we've got to come back. There is irrigation in this bed. However, that irrigation is only right here where the bed was last year. So it's in this little swoosh right here. We're going to connect it and then put everybody on irrigation. When I say that this spot gets full crazy hot sun, I am not exaggerating. I mean, it is 10:30 in the morning and I'm already sweating in April. So this spot is hot. We're gonna make sure that irrigation is on it so that it is gorgeous for the wedding and the signature experience. Then, won't happen today, but this whole area is gonna get remulched, just a nice fresh top layer so that it looks primo for the events that we have this summer. So we are just going to work together as a team. We're gonna use the biotone, the continuous release fertilizer from Proven Winners, get them in the ground, and then we'll get the irrigation hooked up. So I probably will see you when everything is finished and we're dead. All right, here we go. This morning's project is complete. It's in the ground, they're watered, irrigation is hooked up, the whole 9 yards. So let me walk you through and just show you what the final product looks like. Could not have done this in such a timely fashion. It is just noon. This took us a little under 2 hours to do. Like I said, my main asset, of course, today was Jerry. He definitely moves with purpose and is a lot faster than I am. And then, of course, the auger. Could not have planted this many of plants without the power planter auger. He went through and drilled all the holes for me. Got the biotome down, the fertilizers down, and then came back, plopped the plants in the ground. Irrigation went in and then covered it up some. There's still some spots where the mulch was a little thin. But like I said, no worries on that. We're gonna get it all fixed up. You're just gonna have to envision what it's gonna look like, right? So all of the Mini Vista Hot Pinks just come all the way down. You'll see that there is a double line, what we call like a window pane, and then it comes down here. We're talking about coming in at a later date, not today. Oh, see, Brenna's using the path. What a good girl. Yeah, okay, go play. Go play. Okay. Well, where she's standing, so you can see that these petunias kind of end in a nice little section right here together. But essentially where Brenna is standing, there's a little mound. It may not be super easy to see, but right in here is what we're thinking about, because I want to keep my path open, is coming here with something super, super low just to fill that in. We're thinking the Mojave Yellow Portulaca will be perfect to do that because it is super, super low. It spreads out. It's yellow, which will echo, of course, the sunflowers and just gives another pop of color right there. So we're thinking about doing that. We'll do that, again, later date, not today. Then, of course, the snowdrifts are in, the Vista snowdrifts. They are going to make a massive mound. That's where I'm probably gonna lose my path, is because of the snowdrifts and the salvias, but I can kind of keep them a little bit trimmed up. I don't need a massive path through there. I just need to be able to get to the dahlia garden when it is time, and we can kind of train that. We'll see how that goes. Cannot wait to see the vertigo grasses. I mean, they will be black, y'all. If you know vertigo grasses, they are just incredibly black, and they will get, I mean, like up to here. They will get huge. And then that beautiful chartreuse lime color with the upside key lime is going to be spectacular. Again, they will completely cover this. They will be starting to go up the top. They'll come over here on the sides. They are super, super vigorous. All of these plants, what a good girl, Brianna. All of these plants love the heat. I mean, they love it. They love the sunshine. They are going to drink it up. The sunflowers are going to be incredible. You are just going to have, I mean, massive color all the way up this wall would just be unbelievable. And then the rockin' deep purple salvias through here will be huge. I mean, they're going to be a huge ribbon wall. And then of course with that butterfly bush behind, I spaced the butterfly bushes so that at maturity they will grow together and look like one big hedge. So butterfly bushes of course grow really fast. I'm not worried about that. They will get probably not to maturity this year, but really close. So that will all turn out quite nicely. Megan came out here between editing and she's going up to help in production, and she was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be gorgeous. And I'm like, I know. So speaking of gorgeous and wedding flowers, I want to give you a really quick update on how the other plants are doing, because you were with us when we planted those plants, and I just want to give you an update. Of course, we have all 4 sections of the flower beds here in the back. There's 2 large beds. Within that, we have 4 plantings within there. They all have the same plants, just their design is just a little bit different. I have had to come in here and hand water this, and I will have to do the same thing with the new bed, because yes, there's irrigation going in there, and there is in there. One, we don't have irrigation turned on because everybody else doesn't need it. We're getting consistent rain, but these are annuals, those grande size, and they will dry out quicker until their roots get established. Also, irrigation, it is not on every single plant. We do not have an emitter, a dripper on every single plant. So I've got to go in there for the next really 2 weeks and just come through and give them a drink of water, really concentrating on that root ball that will make them send out their roots. And then when the irrigation does get turned on, their roots will have gone out and they will get that water. So that's just a little something. That's why we like to get our annuals in the ground as fast as we possibly can in the early spring, so their roots hurry up and get out and you're not having out there and babysitting them very much. But these are doing really, really nice. I have not hand watered these in a week. We did have a couple of days of rain, so they are doing quite nicely. You will notice, I'm sure that some of you will notice, the fountain is going. So happy to have the fountain back up and running. It just makes my heart happy. And I know we've talked about, I think we talked about this on a video, I'm not sure. I know Jerry was talking about it in the nursery tour, but this is our Fire Glow Japanese maple. This is a maple that loves the full sun. It's going to be more columnar and upright than bending out like a weeping, so that's perfect in this spot. And then let's talk about really quickly here this bloomerang dark purple lilac. Y'all, I never thought that I could grow a beautiful lilac in North Carolina with our heat and humidity. This thing is in all of her glory. She will get 4 to 6 feet tall and wide. I want to say the hardiness zones are like 3 to 7. And yes, we are in 8A. Yes, she is in full blazing hot sun. There is irrigation, so she'll get that in the summertime, but doing glorious. I mean, I'm not used to smelling lilacs because that's not something that I grew up with here in the South. You don't have a whole lot of lilacs. Now, gardenia, honeysuckle, jasmine, yeah, I know those. Lilacs are new for me as far as the fragrance. The pollinators are just loving them. There's butterflies all over the place. We've got a bumblebee right here. What I'll do is when she's finished blooming, I will come in here and give her a light prune. I've never pruned her, but I'm just gonna come in here and even her up just a little bit and she will rebloom. She should. But you've got the lilac, the Fire Glow, the tea olives right there with the fountain. Oh my goodness, y'all. Let's see if I can tiptoe through the flower beds here and just show you. Isn't that just the prettiest little scene? It just makes me happy. All right, so quick update. Sorry, I get distracted on all the things. Coming back on over here. All right, these are the snowdrifts. These are the snowdrifts that we planted. Yes, they were planted very aggressively next to each other. I don't care. I want a big, huge bank of white for this wedding. So there you go. They are in the ground. They are doing really, really nicely. They're beginning to kiss one another. We've got a triple row right here, but look how nice and dark green. You've got beautiful flowers. They are very happy. Incredibles back there are flushing out with beautiful growth. And look, the spireas have buds on them. It is not going to be long, and this is double play doozy spirea. It is going to flush out in gorgeous, like bright raspberry flowers. The other 3 beds, of course, with the, we didn't talk about what they are. Let me tell you what they are. So we've got the White Knight Sweet Alyssum here on the edge, smells delicious. Then we have the new Campfire Marshmallow Biden, really nice little sweet daisy-like flower. Planted them pretty close together. Your White Knight will spread. The Bidens, I mean, they bulk up, but they don't get, they're not really, you know, out there. We've got honeybees on here, and then in the back is the Aromanth Nemesia, Aromanth Mulberry Nemesia. There we go. Beautiful, nice fragrance on that as well. This is also one of my little favorite scenes. Looking back at the patio, from the patio this direction, you've got the white, the mulberry, you've got the storm cloud Amsonia, and then back there, I didn't show you this. This is just, there's so many plants that have to go in the ground. I garden for the sake of gardening, and I don't always film it. So this is one that I put together last week. We have the Elizabeth Rose. This is from David Austin. I planted it last year. You saw me plant it. Mimi and I kind of rehabilitated her, brought her up, put it some more land and sea, and y'all, look. I thought she wasn't gonna do well. She is covered in buds. Beautiful, soft pink. After Queen Elizabeth, her favorite color was a nice pink. I came in here, added the Super Bells Double White. Look at that. And then between each one, then I came through and did the Dichondra Silver Falls. So, I mean, in my opinion, classic spring wedding colors. Soft pink, silver, white. This will fill in and begin to spill over by the time the wedding occurs. The peonies are just exploding in buds. All of my peonies, last year, the ones in these 2 beds really didn't do anything. I didn't have any really flowers on them. Every single peony in my garden right now is just going to be gorgeous because it has, look at those big, fat buds on them. Oh, I cannot wait. Got one more. We got this one. It's doing well. They're hanging in there. And then finally, the last one down there on the corner is doing just as well. So we're doing good. We're doing good. So I wasn't planning on doing this, but let's do it anyway. So I need your help because I need advice desperately. Jenny's about to lose her mind. So a lot of people always ask, you know, how do deer not take apart your garden? How do you fight deer? All these questions about deer. We have no problems with deer. However, the Lord is teaching me grace and understanding in the fact that we have a rabbit that has now taken up residence in our garden somewhere. And this rabbit is coming in and eating my plants. I planted some Evolvulus last week again, just for the sake of gardening, all through here. Y'all, every night, so there were 3 here, they're gone. This was last night's damage. You can see all the little remnants. They are eating them absolutely down to the buds. There was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They've eaten 9 right here. Then the audacity of the little critter came up here and also took out a saffron finch. I mean, ate everything. It is gone. I have little tiny little nubs right here, and that is it. If you have dealt with bunny rabbits, please give me your best advice. How can I get rid of these things? As far as I'm concerned, it's all warfare. They have to leave. I don't care how they leave, but they have to leave. This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable gardening behavior. So I need some help on how do I repel them? How do I scare them away? Whatever. I don't know. Clearly we have a German Shepherd. They're not out here during the day because trust me, she would chase them. She loves a good squirrel, loves to chase a good squirrel. I wish they would show up during the day so that she could, you know, scare the bejeebies out of them and they would just go live somewhere else in the woods. But they're here. So I need your help. How do I get rid of rabbits? So there you go. All right, that's done. It is quite toasty, y'all. I mean, I am like dying out here. It's a little too early for this. We're supposed to get up into the upper 80s this week. So I will definitely be on water patrol for my new plants. As always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, friends.